Большой привет всем, друзья! С вами студия Рухаб. Меня зовут Дима, not in my house. Не удивляйтесь, почему так выгляжу. Сорвался чисто для того, чтобы воспользоваться уникальной возможностью и пообщаться с игроком команды Evil Geniuses, которого вы все хорошо знаете. Это Creed. Hey there, dude.
Hi.
So, how is it going for you? Did you have any vacation since you've been standing in for NIP just a couple of days ago?
No, not really. No vacation for me. Just playing Dota, trying to get ready for the next tournament.
But do you have enough, enough strength for it? Didn't you need to have a rest a little bit, maybe?
No, for me, it's fine to play Dota. You know, it's kind of my vacation as well. You can kind of alter your how much you put into it, and then you can have fun with it, and then it's kind of like a vacation. So.
And yeah, it looks like you maybe didn't need it because Evil Geniuses didn't have such a tough schedule in contrast with some other European teams. Did you manage to have enough gaming practice? What do you think? Are you ready for the upcoming tournaments?
I think we're definitely a little bit out of practice. We didn't practice so far also because we're gonna play with a stand-in. So we're trying to figure it out. We're gonna be probably not as well prepared as other teams, but hopefully we can get there in time. And if we don't, then we can learn as the tournament goes. But so far we haven't prepared that much now.
Okay, let's go step by step. When the pandemic began, how did it influence your life or maybe your Dota practices?
For me, there's not a lot of difference. Obviously, it was very different for everyone. I think every person in the world, but we can still play Dota. You know, it's just online. The biggest difference is we're not traveling at all. Usually we travel all the time, and now we've been home for the longest time ever, which is good and bad. It's nice to be home and get the time to settle a little bit. For me personally, I got an apartment and I got some time to move, so it was nice for that for me. But obviously, it's been very different. It's been very slow. Playing online is also very different than playing LAN tournaments. So yeah, there's been some positives and some negatives.
Yeah, and speaking of negatives, you guys didn't really have enough enough opportunities to play with the European teams. And speaking of North American Dota, were there any guys that you had a lot of practices and you find them pretty useful? I mean, are there any teams of top tier level that can compete with you and you can use them for training?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest positive. I think in the NA scene that's been happening in the last couple of months is that it's been very competitive. All the teams have been getting a lot better. I think Quincy Crew is looking like they're like the best team right now. Obviously, it's hard for us to really know where we are because we haven't played with Abid or with Roman for a long time, but they look like they're going to be the team that we have to come back and beat once we get back to NA. But yeah, obviously for us, we haven't had a lot of practice. We haven't practiced against them much. We only played them in tournaments, but they look like they have a good grasp on the other teams. And I think after them, the Zoomers and the Business and the Crazy, they're all pretty close to each other. I think they're all getting better slowly. So I think the scene is growing, and it's going to be nice to come back to it and get some good practice.
Glad to hear. So, a couple of words about you standing in for NIP during the OGA Dota Pit. First of all, how do you assess this experience for yourself personally?
I think it was nice for me to get the chance to play with some other people because I've been playing for EG for a long time now. It's been 4 years, I think, which is a long time to play with the same people all the time, basically. Same type of players and the same system. So it was very nice to play with them. They're a very serious team. They're very professional. It was very fun for me. Obviously, we didn't do great, but you know it wasn't the best conditions for us. You know, Era had to change his role and he had to draft, and I came in. We had like 1 week of practice, and we played against some good teams. So, with all things considered, I think it was a good experience. I think it was nice for me to play some competitive games because we didn't play most of July ourselves. So I got the chance to play a little bit with them and get ready for the European teams and get like a little bit of an insight into how they play.
Okay, amazing. And speaking of the upcoming Omega League, first of all, are you going to play online or you're going to join each other on a bootcamp?
No, we're gonna play online.
Okay, how much time have you already spent preparing for the tournament?
We're still figuring out our fifth player, which is gonna be making us less prepared than other teams. So we're gonna have to have like 1 week of practice and getting ready and reading the patch and stuff. But we've been talking, with Boba and Tal and like theory crafting a lot, and basically we're gonna have to use our what can you say, our minds instead of our practice, because we don't have much time. We have to get this thing settled, and then once that's complete, we'll have like 1 week of actual playing games, and then we'll see.
Okay, and speaking about your group, you have some pretty tough opponents, as I suppose. They include Alliance, Natus Windsor, Team Nigma, and Virtus Pro. What are your thoughts on this list?
I think out of those teams, I think Nigma is definitely looking very strong right now. They looked very good in the last tournament. I watched most of their games. I think they'll be interesting to play against. I don't know if Kuro is going to be back or if he's still having problems, but either way, I think they're going to be a strong team. I think for the others, we got to play against Alliance when I was with NIP, so I feel like I have a little bit of an idea about what direction they're going in, which is nice for me. And I don't know about VP and Navi. It's teams that I haven't played against for a while, so those are kind of hard for me to predict. But I think traditionally it's teams that we like to play against. We know them pretty well, and I think it's a good matchup for us. It's definitely not something where we won't be seeing what they have to bring. So.
Okay, and speaking about close qualifiers, are you looking after them?
I haven't watched them, no.
Okay, so that's kind of it. Maybe you have some words for your CIS fans.
Yeah, I keep watching, and I hope you guys enjoy us playing. I know Roman is looking very much forward to play. We haven't played with him for a long time, so we'll try to do this one for him, and hope that you guys enjoy it.
Thank you a lot, dude. Друзья, это был Крит, хорошо всем вам известный. Спасибо, что остаетесь с нами и смотрите Омега-лигу.
Посмотрел? Тогда с тебя лайк, подписка, колокольчик и смотри наши видео снова. Я проверю.